Ain't that a swift kick to the left nut? So now we're going to deal with some photo etching. Not all of it, but most of it. So since we're on the enterprise part again, we'll just start with something simple. The bridge, you know, this little that looks like about the size of a thumbnail. It gets on the back of it what do you call it? I don't know why I'm brain farting it. The airlock or for the shuttle or whatever. So, and that's little guy down in here. So with a hobby knife, of course, I'm sure some of you already know how to do this. Just snip it away. And then we got to clean these ones. We clean up our nubs only because, well, we're going to stick it to the model. So I like to use a Dremel and a good eye. It only takes a second. You gotta watch out for the rotation though, because it can twist and bend the little piece. Even though I have this set to lowest speed, still pretty high up there. If you want to sand it off by hand, go ahead. But I try to be quicker. To the left. Okay, and I like to attach with some little helping handy hands here. I like to attach photo etch with CA glue. I'm going to use just a little bit of medium. Yeah, my tip's all f***ed up, but go figure. Just a small little dab. There it is. Now, again, like I didn't do before, is have tweezers right here. Excess glue here. Lined up perfectly. And a quick little zap. Why not? That's basically all it's to it. So we got ourselves a little thing here. Yes, it's a little thing, I know. All right, so let me just set this out of the way and safekeeping. Now we'll just work on our way down. This one's gonna be a little bit more intricate. Going to do with the, you know, this part, the officer's lounge. And it's more than just putting the window in. If you've seen me do the refit, or if you've done it yourself, the 350 one, it's kind of the same way. And what I mean by kind of is usually you just cut, you cut it out. Well, this one already is cut out, so you just kind of place it in there. But you got a piece of window glass in there, but it kind of, you kind of have options here. You can totally cut the back out. You could put it in, but I haven't actually done a fit test without putting the photo etching, but I do have the piece of little glass in here somewhere. I put in here the parts we'll be working with today. Oh, I remember, it went into a hole here. Here it is. It's stuck. Remove part of this little bit of sprue. And I'm going to remove the snap tight little tabs here on here. Don't want to be able to remove it. This is just for a test. Need a little bit more. Already seems like this thing's a tight fit already. Well, that part's gone. It just went flying, and there's no way I'm gonna see that thing. I'm not really worried. Happens. It's just a little clear piece of plastic anyways. But you know, I can always use Solarez instead. And it's not like there's going to be any detail in here anyways. That's probably a good sign that just happened, because I can tell you right there, that didn't want to fit in there for some reason. So what I'm going to do is, because there's some overspray in the back over here, if you look inside, and I want to have some light coming through it, but I think I'm going to have the plastic itself kind of do that. So I'm going to scrape off the overspray from there, and from the light block inside over here. And just let the interior light itself, you know, kind of light this up. That'll work, because you got to do a light test. Maybe just a little bit more. The thinner I make the material, obviously the more light that can shine through. And we clean off the nubs off the officer lounge window. A little bit left. Now this is a very thin piece, and it's enough to twist like crazy and bend all over the place. What I think I'll do here is, because this is so small, I think the first thing I'll do is I'm just going to glue it, and then I'll deal with puttying around it later, instead of trying to, like, you know, really go super detailed. So let me just move this off to the side. Yeah, I'm using thick again, but I can always use my hobby knife and just work it where I need to be. Try not to have too much because then it's just too much clearing. Now I got a piece of junk inside of it. I just have just like little dabs of glue, really. I'm just going to take this hobby knife blade and just kind of work it around a little bit, push it around before it gets too crazy. Some of it's going to get on my fingers, but the fun part is actually trying to glue this thing and holding it in place. It's almost like you need extra hands on this one. Oh, I know what I could do. Get this ready. Just use the ends of my tweezers. There we go, that works. All right, officer lounge windows. Like I said, I can always go back in here and put solar res in there. I may actually just go ahead and do that. And I could do it from in here or in there. Just fill it up or something. That's what I may do. Let me just go grab this right here. Solar res. And gotta have my solar res light. Hopefully it's not dead. Oh, good. And then I could just go ahead and, you know, taper on it. I'm gonna fill it in from underneath here. And time to zap it. It's not like you're gonna see like couches and you know, Spock in there, you know, playing with his Vulcan mind thingy. So I don't have to really worry about details. It's just too damn small. Give it a little more time because it's quite a bit solar res in there. And the good thing actually doing this part right now, because I can actually throw on some putty around the edges so that way that can dry and set up and it won't go inside filling up what would be the officer's lounge. Maybe a little bit on this side too, just because it's got to go through quite a bit of solar res. Cool. Okay, so now my plastic putty perfect. Just a little bit. Get it worked up out of here. I'm gonna use this in a minute. A little dryness in here. Let's get this nub out. Get it going again. Come on. Haven't used this stuff since the refit, so okay, now just clean some of it off my solo res windows. Remember, this type of putty cleans up very well with water. So you can just take like a damp towel and a little bit of water, which I have neither of over here. Let me go get that. So I'm just gonna use a microfiber and a little bit of water. Dampen it up. It'll be gentle clean. And right now I'm actually just cleaning close to the edge. If I have to add a little more, which I kind of do, that's fine. I only use just a little bit. Clean this up. And while I'm here, let's just try to clean some of it out of the grid line so it makes it easier before it's all set up. Alright, so I'll let that dry. And then we'll just do a very fine either light sanding or even just do it with a damp rag, because this stuff is water based and you basically can sand it with water, so that way we're not removing too much. I'll make sure to clean up as much as I can around the windows just to make my life easier. Okay, so we can move on from this one. Now, this one's going to be this is something that I thought about doing. I'm not really happy with the officer lounge windows, but I thought of what I can do is, because you kind of could do this with, you actually do it with the larger 350. If I could find out what I do with it, it's right here. If you kept if you kept the little drilling template for the officer lounge windows, why not just use that? So I think so that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go ahead and literally cut out the windows. So I'm just going to cut right to the window, maybe just a little bit past it. And then just start removing these fuckers. Now I'm going to go using a file, and I'm just going to smooth out what I've cutted, just trying to get as straight as possible. Same with the edge. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and trim off my photo edge. I'm going to leave a little bit extra. I'm going to fatigue the metal a little bit. Actually, I'm going to have to use something more sharper. Well, you can do it. There you go. One end. I'm leaving extra just so I can clean it up. It's already been a half hour. All right, clean this up. All right, now I got windows. Now I left it longer so I can actually make a mark on where to actually trim up some more. So with carefully trying to hold this dumb thing in place, going to score. Score. Now you're not going to see, but I scored a couple marks in there. It's on the edge of my photo etch, so I'm going to trim that down. I'm going to leave this just a hair long, just to make sure I can clean it up better. Actually, that one, it's so close I can already just file it instead. Oh, that's right. These things have the original nubs on it from doing the windows. Filing I can see right here that needs to be done. More filing. I think I'm happy with that. So now, I get a piece of tape, and I'm going to tape just the front side. So it should be like this, but you have an opener like that. Now I'm going to take my window that I modified, and just get it all cleaned up, put it in place, make sure it's in place. We got it backwards. Double check fitment, angle. Now we'll CA, but this time I could do it on the inside. Start going. I think I got to force this out. Yeah, enough. So I can go spread around. I'm using extra thick CA, but of course it's going through a very small hole. Okay, double check before I zap it. All right, let me remove the tape. Okay, so that's on there, and of course it's going to need some putty work. So go ahead and do that. Get that all ready to go. No, you can actually just go over the whole freaking window and then just clean out the junk. And that's what I'll do. Go ahead and put on extra. Okay. Now just take hobby knife. You know what was behind it. Easier for later. So I just have it like that. It's no big deal. Easy to clean out. Just gotta sand it when it dries. So on the inside, I cleaned up so I can find my little windows, and I could just pluck them back out after this is sanded smooth. So that won't be a problem. So this should look a lot better than, because I want those rectangles in there for this one. So that's we're almost done with this one. The next one here is actually was kind of a surprise. Well, shouldn't have been a surprise, but it actually is. So we're going to deal with the lower planetary sensor. Now, my dumbass didn't really pay attention to these parts here. I thought they just lay on top just because of the little vents. No, you cut these out. I mean, you cut a lot of this out if you want to use them. But I don't really see the need to, just because doing this is probably going to be a little bit more can of worms, because you're cutting all the way to the dome, and then you got these little rounded. Okay, in other words, you cut this out, you cut this out, you cut this out, you cut that out, but then you got all these little dumb pieces here. And, you know, to me, it's like, it's not really worth it, so I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to use it. I mean, if you want to, go ahead. I kind of liked what I just did here. It just made it cleaner, so I don't think I really have to do anything down here. I mean, yeah, later I'm going to have to plug the holes, obviously, but I could do that from the inside. So we won't do anything with that. I changed my mind on that one. I don't really think it's necessary, to be honest. So we'll just set this one aside now. Now let's go experiment a little bit more. We have a couple to do with down here. And of course, I have to get familiar with this, and I need to recharge my battery. Okay, for the secondary hull here, I'm not going to do the shuttle bay, which you have that option to do in here. I'm not doing it on this one. I think I already mentioned it. The thing that I am going to do, of course, up here is the arboretum, but I need to actually have kind of like lighting kind of already done. So I can't do that yet. Plus I would want to paint this up somehow. And then there is the windows for the arboretum itself, but I can't do that part yet, only because, well, we kind of need the arboretum in place. Pretty much the secondary hull kind of needs to be assembled. So the only thing we can actually do is kind of get what we need prepped. Now, for me, I don't really see the need to have all these little guide tabs. Plus, they're already hard to slip in just because they got light blocked. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove a lot of that. Like I said before, all I need is the edges just to really glue to. So I'm just going to go ahead and just clean up a lot of this crap to make room. So that way light and wires can pass through, so it gives me more area to deal with. You would have to do a lot of this anyways if you were going to do the shuttle bay. So, and it's not like this thing weighs a lot, so you're not losing a bunch of structural integrity. So I'm just chipping away at a lot of this unnecessary business, just basically hollowing it out. Some of you are wondering, what the fuck are you doing? Now I am going to have to keep this over here just because of the arboretum. It actually rests on there. This dumb little guy. And you do have to remove this. So this one's supposed to look like that. This one is kind of the same. You gotta do the exact same thing, at least I'm going to. Remove a lot of this crap. I don't need it, but I'm lighting this thing, so the more I've cleaned up, the more light will be allowed to pass through these little windows. So that's that one. long as I have edges to glue to, should be no problem. So it should be something like this. And I'm probably going to, we'll see, but I may have to open that up for the deflector dish, or not. So there's that. Kind of already did the same thing for the upper part and the lower one as well. This is a snap type part, so we'll just get rid of that. These pins, these pins, these pins, these pins. So here should look like this, and down here should look like this, yada yada yada. So secondary hole should be like that. I mean, look, I'm easily holding it together without any of those stupid little pins or whatever. So even though you gotta have to scrape the paint off the edges so you can actually put the model glue on it, which is no big deal. So yeah, gives me a chance to take a look at everything by itself anyways. So I guess for now, that's all we can really do on the Enterprise as far as the photo etch stuff. Paint will be in a different video for that, which will probably be in the next one. So right now, let's go take a look at the photo etching of the Reliant. Oh, I didn't realize I didn't have my microphone on. Anyways, let's just start that over. So, we're going to do the paragraphics on the Reliant, and pretty much we're only going to be able to do half of it, kind of like the same thing with the Enterprise. Some of it is probably better to do just before paint, just because of all the work that has to be done near it. You could probably end up burying the detail on it, but we can deal with the important stuff. So first, as far as the bridge, just like the Enterprise, we got to put the the docking port, whatever, piece behind it. Over behind here on its BC deck, there's supposed to be windows for for its own rec deck. We got to do that, and we got to remove, which I did one already just to see how it's going to work, on removing the back end. I've already kind of did one off camera as a test, and Paragraphic says, you know, use like an X-Acto knife, but I find that the plastic's kind of thick and it just kind of takes a while. It's a little bit of a pain. I just still use my little grinder disc and just carefully just grinded it down with my Dremel. It only took about a couple minutes. I mean, he has a little more cleaning to do, but it's simple. This is how I do it. So, junk. Trying to get this little piece out of the way. So it should look like this. Now be careful now, because since you removed all this, it's now, it's very flimsy. So you want to just keep that in mind, that you don't break this piece now, because now it's a lot weaker. So there will probably be some flashing from grinding off, so you got to kind of clean that off a little bit. Just take a look at it. Get it close as flush as you can. But I find that method was actually a lot quicker and neater and cleaner. Now, you got to remove a paragraphic part. Sure doesn't actually see. Oh yeah, so you need those pieces. 4 pieces you need. This is for the back wall of it. Then you need these 2 right here, because you fold them, and they're the inner walls. Do not get stuck in the fibers of the microfiber. Touch you right here, no fibers. So I'm kind of just pre-folding. Get rid of a lot of this stuff away. Might as well just set that aside. Pre-folding my photo etch. And it's really hard to tell, because where it folds into itself like this, there's a thin little lip. That's where one end rests on the other, so you're gonna have to kind of glue it together. So I'm gonna just go ahead and take some CA and put a small little dab just on the part that's rest. Okay. Trying to fold it to match the angle. Try not to have too much excess either. Zap it while it's on there. So you should have a complete piece like this. Make the other one. Now the reason why I'm doing this part first instead of cleaning off the little tabs is because I'm trying to give this thing some structural, you know what I'm saying, some structural integrity. So that way, when I go to clean it off, I'm not bending this thing like really insanely crazy. Yeah, that's another one. Okay. So actually right now, before I even attach the back, I gotta clean off the ends. And the way to tell the end you're supposed to butt into the part is, it's going to be, I don't know if you can see it on the camera here, but on one side of this photo etch, there's a smooth side all the way around, and there's a side with the tabs. The side with the tabs is what you're going to put against the piece, because there are these little notches in there is where the light is supposed to come out of. So just going to clean off the nubs. That's that one. One's already done. Now I'm just going to go ahead, which is going to be kind of hard to see. I want to put the smooth side facing down because I got to put the piece on top of that. Move my photo etch out of the way. Go ahead and clean the nubs off this guy beforehand. Probably doesn't even matter because I think it sits on top, which will be hidden in the Reliant itself. Yeah, it shouldn't matter. You don't really have to clean that. So, just going to add some CA. Try not to put too much. Definitely going to put a dab on where the part is jointed. Put some even thick here, it just doesn't want to stay in one place. Get enough to tack. Let's see what I can do here with this. Oh, you bastard, you're not supposed to turn. And then I'll just add it on the back. You're not going to see it. Zap it. This out of the way. Do the other one. Put a dab where it joins. Come here. One wants to be stubborn. Go on, you can't do scale modeling without some pieces just being stubborn. All right. Got that. That held up. Move this one out of the way for now. That's second to set up. So now what you're supposed to do is these things are supposed to be flush. Make sure you get the right orientation so it helps to look at it. So now I'm going to add some CA onto my edge here. Here's the fun part. Getting it exactly where you want it to go. Okay, got it. I mean, part of it looks a little off. Makes no damn sense. But there's nothing you can't do to modify. Thing has to sit just right. It's almost like the photo etch is either a little bit too small than what it's supposed to be. It's kind of odd. Crazier shit has happened. Show you what I mean in a minute. So they're in. My only complaint is that it seems to be short on the insides over here there. I mean, yeah, it's fixable. Just throw in some putty, probably on the back side, no big deal. And then just scrape out where there'd be a window, which I'm sure I'm going to have to do. Well, actually, no, you don't have to. But yeah, weird way on how to do this. But so what I'm going to do for this, instead of using perfect plastic putty, I have, should be out here somewhere, it's probably up there. So I'm not going to get to this. Oh, it's right here. The Testor's putty, which is usually crap. I wouldn't use this for fine detail. This stuff's like concrete, really. I'd use this just for like filling on the inside and that kind of crap. So I'm just going to add just a little bit in here. So I'm not wasting the good stuff. Clean it out in here. A little bit in this corner up here. Can't really even tell. You're not going to be able to tell, actually. That I'll use perfect plastic putty for. But yeah, just filled it in a little bit on the inside over there. And also this has a finer little point, so it makes like a little tiny, just a little warm amount, which is kind of good for a little bit of detail. Made that part easier. So yeah, this is the photo etch of that part. A little tricky to work with. You can see I probably have some scraping out of some CA in some areas just for lighting. But okay, so that's that. Let me just set this one out of the way. Now, because that one, I can tell you right now, that's going to be the hardest one. This one might be the next hardest one. Well, next, not as hard, but a little something something. And that's the window for the Reliant Officers Lounge. I wonder if Khan's crew did anything in there when he had the ship. Probably not. Or maybe he did. They were playing Yahtzee or something. Watching Star Wars. Eating pickles. Okay, so I'm going to take my piece, kind of pre-fold it, kind of give it its shape. Now, this is the fun part, cutting it out. So, of course, still need to work on pre-shaping it. This one I think we need a sharp pencil for. Where the frick my pencil sharpener? I use tweezers to hold this so I can mark it. And of course, down at the bottom. It's a little bit off. I'll make sure. Okay, so I have back here marked on where I need to remove. This one's going to be fun. I don't know how much was lost there. Thing likes to fucking shut off when it gets warm for recording for a very long time. So the window is in. So now it's just going to add some putty on the outside. I just got to be careful because there's all kinds of little detail right here. I don't want to spend a lot of time cleaning that out. I just want to, you know, make the end smooth. That's good. She's none on the windows or in the windows. Right, putty work. So that's got a set. And of course the last little doohickey is the easy one, which is the bridge thingy. Last one for now, that is. Just a tiny little piece just to hold on to. And of course this one's easier because all you gotta do is just put a tiny little dab. A little freaking tweezers. Come here. Of course, this stuff is like soup. These parts are super thin, super flat, hard to hold on to. Bastard. Why does it do it by hand? Slide it on there. I can't even pick it up. Jeez. All right. Line it up. Make sure it's good. Zap it. So, there's the Reliant one. So for now, that's pretty much it that we can do with the paragraphics until we get more into, like what I see here is more into the paint. Just because we got some prep here, some priming to do, all that stuff would bury all this little fine detail. I'd rather do that close to paint itself anyways. So, I think right here, we'll cut the video. It's probably already long enough as it is, so I think not really sure how we're going to start the next one, so I guess it's going to be a surprise. So that, just go ahead and off.